The spring of 1874 was a restless one in Wheaton, Illinois. The Ladies Prosecuting Committee had declared open war on liquor. In their words, they meant to close every saloon in the village, and they had the law, the pulpit, and much of the town behind them. Their first and most visible target was a local hotel keeper named Mathias Rickert. In early May, they brought him before Justice Sedgwick on the charge of selling intoxicating liquors without a license. The trial was more than a legal proceeding. It was a public spectacle. The courtroom was filled with townsfolk, including a large number of women. The jury returned a verdict of guilty, and Rickert was fined $100. Defiant, he filed an appeal. But the war wasn't over. Just a week later, the newspapers reported that the committee had withdrawn the case, not from mercy, but because Rickert had signed a $1,000 bond. A few other saloonkeepers signed similar bonds. It seemed briefly that peace had been bought. That peace lasted less than a month. By June, Rickert was back in the committee's sights. Another suit was filed for violating the liquor law. Autumn brought renewed tensions, and by the winter of 1875, the nature of the charges had shifted. In January, he was accused not just of selling liquor, but of keeping a public nuisance. Rickert, however, did not take these attacks quietly. In February, he turned the tables and filed suit against two of his accusers, Landon and Chapman, claiming $15,000 in damages for malicious prosecution. This bold move stirred both the temperate and intemperate circles of Wheaton. In March, the nuisance trial concluded. Rickert was found guilty and fined $70. Rickert's case wound its way through the courts, and by July 1876, the Illinois Supreme Court affirmed the lower court's ruling. In the years after, Rickert's name appeared less often in the crime columns, but the tension lingered. In August 1877, Temperance watchers whispered that he had purchased a load of beer. The final newspaper entry in this long-running drama came nearly a decade later. On May 30th, 1886, the Inter-Ocean reported a grim turn. Matt Rickert has been adjudged insane and was taken to the Elgin Asylum last Monday. It was a quiet, almost understated ending to the public life of a man who had once stood at the center of Wheaton's fiercest moral battle. From courtroom showdowns to Supreme Court rulings, from public condemnation to private decline, the saga of Mathias Rickert was more than just one man's fight with the law. It was the story of a small-town struggle over the very soul of its community.